I would like to explore a little bit more the fintech ecosystem part in Portugal because, well, I'm from Germany, so I actually don't know all that much about the Portuguese fintech ecosystem. Can you explain a little bit, like,
So,
what kind of position is RAIZE in this Portuguese ecosystem here?
so we are probably one of the biggest fintechs in Portugal. Okay, and what you have in the ecosystem in Portugal is very similar to all of the ecosystems around Europe. Okay, so you have the same sort of verticals. So you have payment companies, you have alternative lending companies, you have some companies doing things in the crypto space. Some more B2B businesses, be it in managing people's or business accounts, some guys developing software for banks. So a very diversified system. I would say that we have one very, very big fintech in Portugal, which is actually already a unicorn, which is Fizai. They are like a massive fintech company, probably the biggest success of the fintech space that was born in Portugal. And then the majority of fintechs are actually local players. So as RAIZE has a local operation, so we operate here in Portugal, and that's actually how the system is built, which is very similar to all the other European ecosystems. So what you usually see is that maybe in each ecosystem you have like a global champion. You have like one or two fintechs that actually operate at the global scale, but then the vast majority of the ecosystem actually operates at the national level. And that's one of the biggest disadvantages of the European Union space versus the US space in terms of tech-based businesses is this inability of companies to actually compete at the European level and always being national players. Okay, something that in the US is actually quite rare because when you have a successful business model, usually you replicate it through the 50 states. Okay, and in Europe, it's still very difficult to do so, especially in the financial business.
Mm. Do you think you're gonna stay a local player, or do you think there's a possibility that you might even expand abroad with
I
RAIZE?
think that it's as I was saying, in Europe, it's very difficult to
Mm.
be born a European player. Okay,
Mm.
uh, either you have like a massive amount of capital. Yes, if Google wants to deploy a new business model in Europe, yes, they can start at the European level. But for the majority of businesses, you start at the national level. Okay, and this idea of going abroad actually depends on the sustainability of your initial business model. So I would say that for RAIZE, it will be a process. Once we are happy with what we are doing in Portugal, maybe we will consider going abroad. What usually people say is that maybe then you will lose the opportunity window. Maybe someone starts to do whatever you are doing, and actually our industry is already super competitive. Okay, so we are in the lending space. Actually, there are a lot of people doing lending. Okay, so there are a lot of banks out there. So there's not that much of an opportunity cost from our perspective, and so I'm not super fond of those businesses that are like 1 or 2 years old and they are already in a global expansion without being able to sell things sustainably across the street. Okay, so
I see. Mm.
get it right first, selling in your street, then in your neighborhood, maybe then in your country, and then if there is something there, go abroad with your business model.
It's a long process to get there.
Yes,
Like you said in the beginning, it takes much more time than people expected to.
it takes much more time than people expect to make a relevant business. That's one of the most frustrating things in starting a business is that you can have like what you think is a super successful year, and then you are telling people about your business and how well it went, and then people ask you two or three things about the financials, and the numbers are always super small. So it's like kind of your neighborhood supermarket probably has higher revenues than you, and you are like, okay, I'm putting all this effort in something where you are. It will take time to unlock the value. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe there is something super valuable there, but it takes time to unlock value from new ventures. It's basically that.
It really requires a lot of perseverance on a personal level.
Yes, yes, it's and that's the majority of startups. That line that people like to say, the majority of startups fail. It's not the startups that fail; it's actually people that get tired of trying. Okay, so what actually happens is that people get tired of trying to unlock the value. The value maybe is there, but people get tired of, okay, maybe I will be able to unlock value from this, but it will take me like 20 years time. And there's always an opportunity cost there because you are investing time in your company. You could have a professional career somewhere else, and it's this balance that people are always making, and sometimes it becomes unsustainable. Okay, so it's not that people have bad business ideas; it's more that you don't have enough time to make them happen. Okay.
Mhm. I think this is a very nice way to kind of wrap it up because we kind of ended where we started. That's really nice.